Hello, welcome to Up Next, our regular Rovers Roundtable. Taking time to debrief a brilliant victory from the lads in Toulouse. Looking ahead to Saturday, the final day of the regular season. A very special day as well, when the players will lift that League Leaders' Shield. Plenty more going on as well. And a first look ahead to the playoffs. A huge opportunity for this club, of course, and home advantage guaranteed for that. So plenty to get through in the company of the head coach James Ford, his sidekick Ian Hardman, and Martin Vickers, the chief executive. Great to have you all with us. Fordy, let's start with you. You've had a few days to think about and look back on Toulouse. I know you were pretty pleased at the time. How do you react now?
Yeah, obviously I think it's a real positive result, positive performance. Lots of aspects we were really pleased with. But coaches being coaches, we've identified a couple of areas where we feel we can be better, and we'll go after them. And that's the mantra since we've been here. Every week we want to improve. We want to find little areas where we can take steps forward, and if we keep doing that, I'll be really confident. We
talk a lot at this stage in the season about momentum and making statements ahead of the run-in and the finals series. Was Toulouse away kind of the perfect opportunity to show both of those bits?
Maybe. I think we've had a fairly challenging run, to be honest. Sheffield away, I think they'd only lost one game there. Bradford away, they were third as well when we played them on a ridiculous field. Then obviously going to Toulouse in 32, 33 degrees. So I'm just really pleased how the side's improving, how the players have bought into what we've tweaked. And most importantly, I'm really pleased with how strong we are mentally. Obviously, I spoke to them about one of the key threats to us was becoming rattled or unravelling at times. And Toulouse had us on the ropes. One or two moments in that game, and I've seen Featherstone teams in the past unravel in them pressure moments. And really pleased with how we managed our ways out of those moments, and that'll stand us in good stead for the finals.
Ian, in your role as assistant coach and being out there in the thick of it on the training pitch every day, are you seeing those signs of improvement that James is alluding to, and the team gelling and getting the partnerships slicker and everything coming together at the right time?
Yeah, I think you can see that from day to day, week to week. It's been a little bit difficult for us because probably it doesn't get mentioned enough. We've had quite a bit of disruption in, especially some of our spine players picking up injuries during the year. So them combinations have been quite hard to come by quite often. So we've had to do plenty of work on it. But I think we were talking about that in training last week. The things that we are doing now, we're starting to see on the pitch a little bit more. And as you say, we're just trying to build that momentum going into the back end.
I think Martin, James was right, not just to mention the Toulouse game at the weekend, but the last few games, the likes of Sheffield away and Bradford away on trying, well, they're both trying surfaces, different surfaces, and then that trip to Toulouse in the heat. A very testing period that Rovers appear to have come through with flying colours, underlining why the change was made, the coaching change was made. Purely on the field, are you liking what you are seeing now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to reiterate that our performance against the top six is crucial, not just at the end of the season, but in making the mark earlier on in the season. Featherstone, in my time here, has had a bit of a history of when it comes to the point of making that statement, when we've failed. And, a big thing for James, I'm sure, at the moment, and Ian, will be about belief within the camp, and that's the major thing for the whole team. Our players are the biggest and most critical element of the club, but belief off the field is really important as well, and I felt a real sea change in mood in our fans, even in myself and the people off the field. It was just fantastic to do that, and also to do the Bradford and the Sheffield wins. Which other team would go into the difficult game of Toulouse without star players like Caleb and Gadwin, and just to get guys coming in, following in behind them, and you're not seeing any difference. It just, gave me a real strong feeling of belief that we can go forward and we can be promoted. And you know, have I seen a difference? I've seen a massive difference in the last few weeks. I've seen led by the head coach, I've seen a coaching team and set of players that seem very galvanised. I've seen a team that probably flowing from James's calming influence that don't get flustered easily. You know, I can definitely work with coaches in my time that, you know, you lose your half back and you lose your big middle and, you know, the wheels are falling off and everything else. No panic. A real sense every game of a plan, a clear plan that is starting to kind of be played out, and it's great for me to be able to relate to that and see what the team are trying to do and see the players. You know, we've got some. I heard James the other day say about, you know, outside of the Super League, these are some of the most high quality players, you know, that are playing there, and to see that talent and potential being harnessed in the right way, it's just a breath of fresh air. You know, so I'm really pleased with how things are going.
Yeah. Well, from my point of view, as someone who commentates on Super League, Championship and League One, I look at Rovers. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased, but I look at Rovers, what they're doing, and see a Super League team. But we know, James Ford, that counts for nothing if we're not where we want to be in 3-4 weeks' time, right?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why we've, as a performance group, we've got to focus on improvements. You know, we respect everybody in the playoffs. But we're just going to focus on ourselves predominantly and look for individual and collective improvements, and then whoever we play, it's irrelevant. It's about us playing better than we did last week, and you know, we've finished top of one competition. We're about to start another competition, and in my opinion, we'll see better versions of Halifax, London, Bradford. So we need to see a better version of Everton, and we're all really united in bringing that and delivering that for our fans.
Just one final point on Toulouse before we move on to other matters. I want to ask you about IMG, Martin, a little bit as well. It seems like we have to do that every time we do these things, but I know it's been on your mind last week or so, and also looking ahead to a big occasion on Saturday and beyond. Just on that, Fordy, your interview afterwards, when I think you alluded to the fact that you would expect to play Toulouse again this year. I mean, we kind of hoped that would be the case. The optimist in me is buoyed by the fact that Rovers went to Toulouse and did that. And then the other side of me thinks they're not going to want that to happen again. They're going to be fired up by that experience, by what you guys went over and did, and, you know, celebrating in their own backyard, all that kind of thing. They wouldn't have liked any of that.
No, well, we didn't like what they did when they came over here either. And, you know, first and foremost, we've got to be good enough to win the semi-final. You know, whether that be Halifax, Bradford, Sheffield, London, you know, we'll have to play well to win that game. As I said, we really respect them, but we're confident in ourselves. We just need to the best version of Everton needs to turn up, and if it does, the best version of Ev goes into the final. And then if Toulouse are good enough to get there, if they're not happy about us beating them over there and celebrating like we did, well, that's their problem.
Right, we'll look ahead to Widnes, final game of the regular season in just a moment. I mentioned IMG, so let me just ask you, Martin, about that. That's kind of the big off-the-field thing at the moment. We've talked really nicely there about what's going on and what seems to be going in the right direction on the field. But we know in the brave new world of rugby league, things have got to get in the right places, in your jigsaw, in your office, off the pitch. So how's all that looking?
Yeah, look, in practical terms, all clubs right across the game have to send in returns for the next week that go into the scoring systems, and as all the clubs now, we'll be focusing on those things. It's quite straightforward. It's about your finances, it's about your attendances and so on. I think it's interesting because I hear comments from teams that have got relegated and pleased to support us to stick with them because it helps with the fandom criteria and things like that. And I just hope this thing doesn't become this administrative kind of challenge that becomes bigger than the exciting product on the pitch. You know that you want fans to attend because you want your club to be playing in front of the biggest possible crowds and this, that, and not to tick a box. And I hope, for the good of the game, we don't get into that place. My thoughts around, like, we've had a season now where I've been around all the grounds, I've seen all the clubs, I've seen good initiatives. You know, some clubs making really big differences in what they do, but I don't see a club better prepared for Super League than this one. I see more people watching the Toulouse game in the clubhouse than I do watching some home top 6 games, you know. So I see we're the best supported club. I see we're in the best facilities. I see, you know, we haven't had 25 years of chances. We are in a situation where our broadcast money is less than 5% of what we spend every month. Think about that. You know, think about a Super League club that's had 25 years of chances. Their salaries, unless you're at the St Helens and the Leeds stage, their broadcast money covers their main outgoings. The players doesn't at this place. You know, we're one of the best examples of a sustainable club in the game at all levels of the game. So whether it's filling in a questionnaire or whether it's how we do plan and operate as a club, we're in the best place we possibly can be for Super League. And I do hope this year, you know, with a bit of the rub of the green and the players all, you know, playing to the full capability, which I'm sure they will do, you know, this will be the year.
So a final point on that to the critics and those liking to watch and wait for Featherstone to fall, which there seem to be quite a few of them. Those saying, well, if they do go up, they'll be coming back down anyway. It'll only be for a year. You're saying no, it won't.
Absolutely no. It's when we were having the consultations with IMG, I was giving these stats about in the last 10 years the promoted clubs keep going down. Well, actually, you know, if you build a model that does that, it'll perpetuate. If you give a club no distributions like they did with my club, Toronto Wolfpack, or they give a million compared to 1.6 million, you reap what you sow. So actually, it's inevitable, and it's been great to see Lee buck the trend, because they're a club that have invested on top of the investment. They're a club that's known how to actually walk the difficult challenge of being in the Championship, and they'll be better for those experiences. There isn't anybody more battle-hardened than this club off the field. And, beware the noisy neighbours if we do get on. I was greatly unimpressed by... I didn't see one media report about the Toulouse game, and I heard every reason. Well, we couldn't get reporters there, and it was a Saturday night, and it was this, that, and the other. It's disappointing that, you know. But Featherstone community, Featherstone players, you know, we'll watch with interest, and hopefully at some point we'll celebrate with great, you know, celebration and enthusiasm. But we've got a lot of hard work to do.
There's one thing this club doesn't lack, it's enthusiasm. During my couple of years working here, I can guarantee that. Let's look ahead to Saturday. Really looking forward to being here on Saturday, not least for the final game of the regular season. A chance for the players to lift that League Leaders Shield again after doing it last time in 2013, celebrating the women's team after a brilliant season under Marie Colley getting promoted, and the captain getting some recognition as well. Ian, a guy I know you want to make sure gets a few plaudits.
Yeah, definitely. So James has obviously decided to retire at the end of the year, and I think I speak for everyone, he's held in the highest regard at this club by coaches, his teammates and supporters. So to see him retire is a little bit sad, but he doesn't owe anybody anything. He's given his all for the club every time he's put the shirt on, and he epitomises what we try and be about as a club and as a team. The way he turns in, week out, and he always puts his body on the line, but also the quality that he brings on and off the pitch. So he's a great leader. It'll be a good day for him. I know he's achieved a lot in his career, but we're all hoping that his greatest achievement is yet to come, which will obviously be hopefully next month. So, but yeah, good day to recognise Lockie's career and what he's done for the club, and we'll be all behind him on Saturday.
Are players, James, characters, leaders like Lockwood, are they, as a head coach, are they like gold dust for you in the dressing room?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're fortunate enough to work with a similar leader in Tim Spears at York, and when we signed Tim, that's kind of when the fortunes of that club started to turn around. And you know, I always tried to give Tim plenty of praise because he was absolutely central to that. And just like James Lockwood is here, you know, he trains tremendously hard. You know, he holds players to account. I've no doubt he'd hold me to account without thinking twice about it if he didn't think that I was doing what needed to be done. And most importantly, I think he leads by his actions. The amount of carries he makes in a game, the meters he makes, the effort stuff, it's inspirational. It makes me. I'm only a couple of years older than James, and I watch him and think, how is he still managing to do that? I struggle to get down the street. So, listen, I tried to sign James a couple of times. I wish I'd have got him. I've come here and I've realised he's an even better player and a better leader than I initially thought he was.
Team news-wise, ahead of Saturday, are you looking to go strong again? Are you looking to finish strong? Give us an update if you can on a couple of the guys who are out injured at the moment.
Yeah, look, we want to build some momentum. We can't talk about continuous improvements and then just chop and change. Yeah. I'm telling the players I need them to be better. They want to be better, so we'll go as strong as possible. We might protect Jonathan Ford a little bit, but apart from that, the players that are available will pick what I feel is our best 17, and we want to be better than we were against Toulouse. Regards the injuries, Mackenzie will be back if he gets through training this week. Adzi Howe, potentially not. He's picked up a bit of an illness as Adzi, following on from Chiz and Caleb. So we're unsure on him. And then there's some relatively positive news around Gadwin. Obviously he's had a scan, 6 weeks-ish. People heal at different rates. The medical team and the S&C team, I believe in them. Their job now is to work with Gadwin and do everything possible to get him back, because he's a real influential player for us.
Yeah, when Gadwin hobbled off in that game, we all feared the worst, but that's better to hear. There's an outside chance that we may see him again, so that's not all doom and gloom. Martin, Saturday, big match day, plenty going on from your perspective.
Yeah, I often hear our supporters and supporters with us, you've won nothing yet, it's the playoffs, and please let us not play down. They've won the league by 12 points. They haven't won it for 10 years. Saturday's a celebration of a fantastic league season, and I don't. Yeah, we all know the bigger issues are to come down the line, but Saturday should be a day of recognising, firstly our men's team for what has been a fantastic year, and they've all contributed as a squad. The depth of the squad has been great. The women's team, pulling that off on the last day of the season, then they're going to go into Super League One. The women's team were like one of the forerunners and pioneers of the women's game, and we're back in the place where our club belongs to be. Like I've said, George, we're a Super League team in waiting. It's not just about the men's team here, it's every facet of the club, and Marie's done a great job, and all the women's team in kind of getting that over there. So I want Saturday for us all to kind of just have a great day. I just feel like, I say we're a Super League club in waiting, so all the fans that I'll speak to in and around the games, and they'll say to me, next year we'll get double the crowds. We'll turn up on Saturday, because this is a team that's won the league. Not many teams get that opportunity, and would you believe, if any of the other top 6 were winning that league, would we be hearing about it? So let's not kind of hide away here. Let's be really proud of what we've done. The supporters, look, I'm asking you. A supporter emailed me the other day when I got the newsletter and said, Martin, a good idea. Let's get back to some old-fashioned leafleting. Go around all the estates in Feathers, especially that new one. Go down there's all these new fans. Well, they're here. We've got 5,000 of them waiting in the shop. Do your bit. I know how our supporters go the extra mile for us. Do us a favour, put 100 in your street. Get on Collier's Court. Don't all go, because we'll get done for junk mail. But I'll just go down to, just get those 5,000 leaflets, because...
Are you not going to get out there and get your steps in?
I've got a bit of the same problem as Gadwin, to be honest, but hopefully he'll be fit for leafleting for the grand final. But what we just need to do is, get out there. This is our team. They've done us proud. This is where we recognise everything that they've done. And let's celebrate. We've won the League Leaders' Shield. We don't get any money for it, but we've won it, and we should be very proud.
Final word from you, Ian. I know you've experienced the crowds, player as amongst the coaching staff. Just underline for us how important, especially at this point of the season, wanting to make that final big step towards that huge goal. Underline how the crowd, how the support, how the passion of this Post Office Road fan base can help this team now.
Oh yeah, it'd be hugely influential on our push towards the end of the season. I think, obviously I've been here for a long time, I was fortunate enough to play for this club for a long time and then coach here as well. So I think one of the first things people realise when new players come in is how passionate they are, how they always comment on how they always turn up in numbers at away games, how they welcome you straight away. So it's not lost on the players on how much it means to them, how much it means to the community, and how much, as well as we want to do well for our own professional goals, but to do well for them as well, because they deserve it. They put their hands in their pockets for any sort of initiative the club do. Like you say, they follow us home and away, and we'd like to see nothing more than smiles on their faces come the end of the season. Feels like a good point to leave it, unless there's anything else, Martin, you want to mention?
No, I just look. There's a lot going on Saturday. We've got Skinny Living back here. Our community club will be Featherstone Rovers Football Club. You know, so actually another little innovative thing we've done. I just wanted to kind of. It's been a big week off the field. We've got lots of different sponsors signing up, and the pleasing thing for me when these guys can take great credit for knowing they're doing a good job is not only when sponsors recommit, but sponsors recommit and double their investments. And I want to pay tribute to Middleton's and Sons Removals, PFI Mechanical. We've had Beaukirk as well, all just putting the money where the mouth is and saying we enjoy this family atmosphere at this club. We enjoy the product that we have on the field. And we as a club can't survive without sponsors and backers like that. So a good week all round, and let's hope on Saturday we finish with a flourish.
Yep, loads going on. We'll toast the women's team at half-time as well after their promotion. And then the men's side will lift this first League Leaders' Shield in 10 years at full time of the Widnes game as well. We hope to have as many of you as possible joining us for that. Make sure you get your tickets online or from the shop, the ticket office. Thanks to James Ford. Good luck for the rest of the week, and to Ian as well. Martin, Vic, it's always great to see you, and we hope to see you here on Saturday.